Part 3 of some Bonnet Sue. So once we get everything glued and everything, and I will remind you to be sure you pay attention to the way you glue your pieces and your cutouts, because I did accidentally have mine backwards. It was actually going that way, so I had to re-glue my shoes. And so what we're going to do is or my shoe pieces. So what we're going to do is we're just going to lay this out however you want to lay it. I kind of angle her a little bit, you know, like she's kind of skipping. And then you can measure if you want to measure. I don't measure. I just kind of just lay her down and then figure out how I want her. This will go underneath. And then her shoe goes underneath. And then when you get her where you want her, I might bring her down just a little bit. Just kind of play with it. Like I said, you can measure if you want to measure. I am not. I'm just kind of eyeballing it. And this is how I did on my quilt. And you just keep bringing her down until you get her where you want her. And I want to make sure that these are covered when I sew this on too. I don't want her dress coming out from underneath her bonnet. And so just move her hand down. And so then what you're going to do when you get it where you want it, you're going to pin it. This is what I do. I did not use any interfacing or anything in my quilt because I hand quilt all my quilts. So I thought that going through 5 layers of fabric would be a lot, because on my quilt I did a design, hand quilted a design on her hat or her bonnet. So just go around and just put as many pins as you want in. I put quite a few, only because I want it to stay in place. Now, if you want to use something, you can use something. I didn't, because like I said, I am going to be hand quilting this. And so I'm going to applique her on just like I did my Dresden. Make sure this is underneath enough. And if you want to do it a different way, you can do it a different way. This is just the way I'm doing it, and I'm showing you how I do it my way. There's no right, there's no wrong. Do what feels comfortable to you. So there. So once we get her pinned down, oh, I gotta pin her shoe. I forgot about her shoe. So I normally just put one in her shoe. So once we get her pinned down, you can put more pins. You just have to be very careful that you don't stick yourself when you're appliquing her. So now we're going to applique her on, and I am going to start, I think I'm going to start at her bonnet and go around and then come down. And so I'm going to get my little finger protectors on here. This just helps me grip the needle. And so I'm using hand quilting thread. And so I'm going to go from underneath, and I'm going to bring my needle. It's kind of just like you're going to do the binding right at the edge. Okay. And so I got my thread back there. My knot is in my thread. And I'm going to turn her sideways. And you can bring her up where you can hold it like this if you want, but kind of watch, because sometimes it will start to shift on you. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my thread or my needle, and I'm going to go under and come out just like I was doing, kind of like a blind stitch for binding. And I'm just going to grab the edge, and I'm just going to keep coming around, and this is just going to put her, station her, and hold her on. And so I'm going to do this all the way around. Now there are other ways you can do this. This is just the way I am doing it. You pick your way and go for it. So see, as I come around, you cannot, I'll raise that up so you can see, but the stitch kind of hides, I mean, you can see it a little bit, but it kind of hides the stitch a little bit. So we're going to continue this all the way around. So I'm going to go complete, I'm going to continue to go all the way around her bonnet, and then I will come back to the next one and I'll show you where I go from there. So I'm going to continue all the way around through here, and then I will come back.